Hi friends. As an Indian, did it ever happen to you that you got out of your office early to meet an emergency situation at your house or to celebrate something at your house and you ended up reaching home even later than you usually reach because of the road conditions, because of the traffic conditions? Has it ever happened to you? Then you are not alone. Actually, this is a very common phenomena. Today, I'm going to talk about something very interesting, and I call it the squeeze mentality. So, what is squeeze mentality? It's a very funny name, and I have thought about it, and I'm going to tell you now why do I call it like that. What is squeeze mentality? So, you have been commuting, you have been using public transport, or maybe you're using your own ride for traveling to your office or maybe your college or anywhere else. What do you do? What do you do? What do you see? You say that maybe take an example. You're traveling by train and there's a seat which maximum can accommodate three occupants, and you see someone is asking the ones who are sitting on the seat to adjust a little, to push a little, so that a little more space can be squeezed out so that he or she can put their butt on. So they are requesting the already sitting passengers to squeeze a little space for them to sit. This is a very common. Or suppose you're traveling by bus, and when you get on the bus, you see there's so much crowd inside the bus, and you ask your fellow passengers to push a little, to make uh, a little space, squeeze out a little space so that you can accommodate yourself where even an ant cannot stand. Okay. So these two are the examples of squeeze mentality. I'll give you another example. Suppose you are coming home from your office, riding your motorcycle, and during the monsoon season, all the roads are broken. There are big potholes like the ones in the moon, and all the potholes are filled up with water. And between the potholes, there is a little gap, like the peaks between the valley. And you see, everyone is squeezing their motorcycle to ride over that little peak that's rising, protruding out of the water. And when you are doing the same, you are squeezing a little space for your tires of your motorcycle to ride on. So this is an example of another squeeze mentality. So you see, what we do, we tend to squeeze out little conveniences out of disastrous situations, and we tend to be content with it. We tend to be happy with it. This is the real squeeze mentality. And I gave you a few examples, but if you look around, our daily life is filled up with this squeeze mentality. See, the problem is not with the suffering. I mean, yes, suffering is a concern when you are living in a country which has been developing for years and still developing and will be developing in the coming 100 years. The problem is not with the suffering. When there is a lack in infrastructure, you are bound to suffer. But the real problem is that you are becoming comfortable with the suffering. And everyone is. You might be one of them, you might not be. But if you are, then I'm here to tell you that. See, as a taxpayer, and to remind you, we all pay taxes when we buy things. We do not only pay taxes when we pay income tax, right? We pay taxes when we purchase things. And so every one of us contribute in the development of the infrastructure of our surroundings. So we need an infrastructure which will aid in a life that we want to take up to fulfillment. I'm not saying that fulfillment cannot be achieved if we don't have standard of life, but a good standard of life is what we deserve, what you deserve, but you don't know that. A good infrastructure of the roads, of daily commute, of food, of everything is pretty much necessary to have a good standard life. You might have 20 LPA, you might have 50 LPA, you might have 1 CRPA, but whenever you are getting out of your house, you are no better than who has nothing. You have to use the existing infrastructure which are being used by someone who has nothing all the same. So you might be a king in your home, but when you are outside, when you are using the infrastructure, when you are buying products, you are being the victim of the very squeeze mentality that you yourself are in. There was the age of the monarchy where the king was everything. Every decision of how the life of the citizens are going to transpire depended on the monarch, on the king and his mood, and the citizens couldn't do anything. See, the days have changed, but the concept remains the same. Even if you are in a democracy, the ways of making you do The way they want has changed, has gone very subtle, and it has gone to the level of manipulation and making you blind of the real picture. Now, I don't want to make it a video about a political thing, and I'm not a political person, and I don't, this video is not about politics or what's right and what's wrong, what should the authorities do, how to make the authorities do something. This is not about that. This is about you and you only. This video is directed to you only so that you can change it in here, so that in the long run things can be changed. See, the problem is with the fact that we have been trained, we have been programmed, we have been manipulated to live on the crumbs. And only one thing you have to do is to be aggrieved, is to be angry. Nothing else. You don't have to do any hunger strike. You don't have to start any revolution. You don't have to join a political party. You don't have to do anything that will harm your peace of mind, because as I always say, the purpose of this life is to make your life good, make a good life, live a good life, and think about the bigger picture, think about the universe, and you've got only one chance to experience this. So there is no need to go to make your life go in the harm's way. So you don't have to do anything flashy. You just have to change your mindset. Whenever you are encountered with situations like this, the infrastructure, the inconveniences, you have to be aggrieved, you have to be angry. That's it. Please don't be used to it, because if you somehow find a substitute, then you will forget it. If you are on a bus or inside a train and there is a huge crowd, you have to stand. You have to stand, keep standing and feel the pain, and don't ask your fellow passengers to squeeze a little space for you so that you can squeeze out a little convenience in the midst of suffering. If there is traffic, if the roads are broken, then don't try to find a shortcut. Take the long cut. Be late and be angry about it. Don't take a shortcut and forget about it. You need to understand that the relationship between you and the authorities is that you maintain law and order, and the authorities provide you with the infrastructure of a good standard life. That's it. There's nothing else. You don't have to idolize them. You don't have to worship them like celebrities. You don't have to make memes about them. You don't have to listen to news about them. You have to do only one thing, that is to focus on your life. and your life is the only thing that matter at the end of the day. And all these things will happen if you stop being comfortable in the sufferings, if you stop being happy living in the crumbs. You have to be genuinely aggrieved for the things you have to be aggrieved. Don't be accustomed to a life of suffering and just pretend that everything is fine. Now you might be wondering what will happen if you are angry about it, if you are unhappy about it. Will anything change? You will not see the result in a day. If you are not happy about something, if you are angry about something that actually should anger you, then it's a normal thing. Just being as accustomed to it and just forgetting it is the most unnatural thing. So do what you can do. Do what is in 100% control of you. Don't be a part of the squeeze mentality. Live like a king and a queen. Live like your life matters. Don't take anything less than what you deserve. And this is the psychology that I want you to believe in. As I say again, this was not a political video or something like that. This is about you. This is about your thoughts. This is about your mindset. So, if you think your life has value, then feel the suffering when it's actually the suffering. Feel it and keep it. Everything will be in order in due course. Thank you for watching my video. Till the next time.